Though it may appear stunning at first glance, beneath its surface lies decay. Doubt not for a moment that this is the most perilous realm in the galaxy. Peril doesn't always manifest as orcs with bolters, Ragnar. This world is where the Imperium's elite converge. We speak of the most ruthless, ambitious, and unscrupulous rogues culled from a million planets. Here, they realize their ambitions without hesitation. They won't allow anything or anyone, not even their own kin, to obstruct them. This is the Imperium of Man, a sprawling stellar empire spanning countless planets, united under the Emperor's reign for millennia. Life under its dominion, though far from ideal, has seen humanity rise to dominance amidst discord. Yet, like all empires, the Imperium faces logistical and economic constraints. Planets require resources and protection, and among them shines Holy Terra, a jewel of the Imperium. Its splendor tarnished by corruption, the Imperium, akin to colonial powers of old, maintains a monopoly over resources and enforces its rule with an iron grip. Despite the vast diversity across millions of worlds, commonalities emerge: a universal language, currency, and religion imposed on all citizens. Terra, the Imperium's capital and cradle of humanity, stands as a beacon of eternal dominion over space. Millennia have transformed it into a vast, towering metropolis, unrecognizable from its former green and blue beauty. Amidst the ceaseless traffic of spacecraft and the intricate network of orbital stations, the planet's original visage has long been obscured. Millennia ago, the boundless oceans vanished during the tumultuous conflicts of a bygone era, while most of the once majestic mountain ranges were leveled to the ground. The planet's natural flora and fauna surrendered to the relentless march of human civilization, leaving behind an environment where even the air, purified by ancient facilities, is barely fit for respiration, tainted by the pervasive scent of sweat and exhaust. A perpetual shroud of smog blankets the entire planet, obscuring the sun's rays, and towering structures pierce through the haze. In this world, where the heart of power beats and the forces of the Imperium converge, life for the average citizen of Terra scarcely differs from existence in any other hive. Endless toil, overseen by priests and arbitrators, defines their days, while migration and austere living conditions mark their nights. Yet, there's a solemn pride in knowing that they dwell at the very epicenter of the Imperium, on the most heavily fortified planet in the galaxy. For Spinoza, accustomed to the planet's scorching heat, the sudden chill in the air felt disconcertingly foreign. The overwhelming stench, reminiscent of decay, permeated the surroundings, a stark contrast to the once functioning sewer systems now overrun with organic matter and vermin. In these forgotten depths, where neither law nor faith extends its reach, individuals are left to fend for themselves amidst squalor and disease, their appearance a testament to the harsh realities of their existence. Amidst the gloom, overcrowding exacerbates the already dire circumstances, yet even in the most inhospitable corners of Terra, crowds gather pilgrims from across the Imperium converging during festivals, filling every available space in the sprawling cityscape. Leaning against the balcony railing, Spinoza surveyed the scene, a silent witness to the tumultuous existence that defines life on Terra's lower levels. Even an hour before the morning, his throat is still wet. He is waiting for his way somewhere near the palace. When the time comes, most of them do not know the way in any way. Without a guide, they quickly get lost and fall. Because of the palace, the brainwashing organization of the terrorist organization consists of 500 class priests and scientists who carry electricity and will shout the names of the martyrs at the commemoration and give the holy trinity of fear, foreigners, infidels, and heretics at the age of 10. The next generation of mutants should be given the details of the job, including all abilities, doing work in low-level factories, food factories, military engineering, or warehouses. The smarter people will be counted innumerable in the tower. They will be put to duty when death takes them. Their bodies will be destroyed. Their corpses will be taken out. Their hair will be put in sacks, and the rest will be given to the flames whose eyes will not go out. Now it's floating in a storage bottle passed from doctor to pharmacist. I don't see the sun rising through the dirty plexiglass. Their skin will not feel the brush of the ground wind. Their ears will not be able to escape the tip of the tower machine. This is Ender's civilization. The inhabitants of the middle hive are under the constant protection of the referee. They do so. Avoiding the invasion of mutants, the consistency of the food is very different from that of the lower ranks, but it is also far from the pleasant aspects of imperial public life. In his private quarters, feeling the impact of a 20-hour shift, his stomach hit the sky, once inspiring animals to cross the void. He came to his room and absent-mindedly punched the number 9 in the crack of door A. A small incision was made inside the microneedle, placing the sun's tally on the low floor and the dirty window on the far wall. He drank a tall glass of clear wine containing the sweet-flavored drink, then walked over to a chair. The chair was hard but had a patchy feel to it. Rusty. He looked down at his chair, which had a steel frame and its joints creaked and its coils dangled when he fell on it. It is a place that is important by standards, but not as beautiful as one might think, where the air is mixed with filters and sand is removed, and where electronic equipment has long since left its place at the end of the narrow road. Streets and elevators. People were forced to squeeze into small houses of only a few square meters, and only when that person was one of the king's most important and respected servants. Very few could afford this luxury, and 2 wolves offered to drag Ragnar outside to work. Pay attention to their surroundings. They are in a large house overhead. Glass covering the ceiling allows natural light into the house from where it stands, creating the sepia-edged world. A very fat man is lying on ropes. In the car, while 2 beautiful naked girls fan his head and sweaty workers in beautiful Bessarian outfits pull him away from holding hands. Many have 2 bionic eyes and limbs. Some have soldiers, and the house is a work of great art with paintings on it. Walls, gargoyles holding glowing balls in their claws, innocent people emitting beams of light at government officials, honorable imperial guards, members of the House of Navigator, and leaders of the Terra division, all revealed neatly and orderly. Much of the luxury of the Dread Zone, but even the high levels of the hive can be seen in many of these areas. But the highest floor of the palace walls is also more valuable than similar floors on the other side of the world. Most of the time it will be possible to become rich and useful, because even if you are lucky enough to find yourself be among those who have seen a place in the walls of the Emperor's palace, you will not want to see all this as vile. The games have now been brought to true galactic proportions, but the Watchers and the Inquisition know their job very well. Events in the palace are never too far away, as is permitted. And travelers can enter the warehouse like cattle, hold on to the door, and shout at the guards to enter the highest place, so that they can be released directly into the Eternal Gate and witness the commemoration of the Eternal Gate. Hot weather, rage gripped the Megacity. Beggars were unimaginably angry in the dust looming over the little tower, and the titanic wall of the outer palace rose in blackened splendor, waiting for the floods to break its wings. The throne of Chrysaorian, where the people gathered to commemorate the sacrifice of the Primarch Sanguinius, one of the Emperor's sons, inevitably turned into a real celebration. And the occasion is always important. The line of pilgrims under them turned into a real celebration. Orgy, a sea of red-robed people pouring out of the many gates into the vast injustice. Marching forward with a lurching abomination, a corner too numerous to hold the faithful, was plucked from every stagnant world in the human empire and thrown into its heart. The crowd stopped the military helicopters hanging high, unable to block out the images of invisible people advancing. Millions of soldiers were removed from the Aster and turned into a high line. All the soldiers were lined up in 5 rows, but they could be evacuated. Gun power packs 10 times 10, but the impact on those numbers will be nothing but dense. There is no room for them in the new homes. People here are just cogs in the big machine. Just like the rest of the world, horror as we know it today has long been a good home for humans. Here in the 42nd century millennium, The world resembles a tomb wrapped in metal and covered with permanent smoke, where the ancient heritage of humanity is stored. Explore the grim darkness of the 41st millennium and unravel the secrets of living on Terra in the Warhammer 40K lore. Dive deep into the lore of the Imperium, the Adeptus Custodes, and the everyday struggles on the Emperor's homeworld. Don't miss out on the next chapter. Subscribe for more Warhammer 40K content and join the crusade for knowledge.